Hello, everyone. I'm Robyn Grable, the founder of Talents Ascend and the Ascend Collective, and your host for Ascending Beyond Barriers. Welcome. Ascending Beyond Barriers is an inspiring podcast dedicated to showcasing the remarkable journeys of small business founders who have faced and overcome significant challenges on their path to success. Each episode delves into the personal stories of entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds, highlighting their unique experiences, struggles, and triumphs. Welcome back to Ascending Beyond Barriers podcast, where we lift voices, share stories, and celebrate the incredible journeys of veterans, military spouses, and change makers who are breaking through barriers every day. Before we dive in, though, please make sure you're subscribing, following, rating, all those things that we need to have your support so that we can continue to share these incredible stories. And we thank you for your support of our mission here as supporting underserved talent across the country. Today's guest, I'm so excited, is Katie Prill, and we are in for a treat. So let's get started. All right, Katie, thank you so much for being here. It's so excited to meet you. I'm so excited to meet you. You've got a lot going on. I read your bio and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much we can talk about. We only have like 25 minutes, so we'll jump in. I have to ask you first, my first question. Dog named Maverick.
Yes.
Top Gun is my favorite movie. I love that movie. Is that a connection there, or?
It is because we did get did get him the year that Top Gun Maverick came out, and we found out that we were getting a puppy from a rescue. We were getting him from a rescue, and
Yay.
We found out his birthday was July 4th, and we're like, oh, a patriotic puppy.
Wow.
And we fought back and forth. I have two boys and, my husband.
Okay.
I am overrun by boys in this house. Yes. And I was like, well, let's be honest. Who's going to be the one home with the dog all day while you're in school and you're at work and I'm working from home? It's Mom. And they kept giving me all these different name options like Gunner and Tank. And I'm like, no, I'm not feeling those. No. Like, let's go call signs. And then I was just like, what just came out? Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. And nice. We met him and I'm like, it fits. It really does. But he does, I will mention, he has a middle name too. Okay. It's Michael.
Okay.
Yes. My youngest really he was gunning for male names, okay. Michael, Scott, or Jack. And okay. I'm like, I like that, but I don't know that I want to be yelling, hey, come here, Michael, come here,
right?
Scott. I was just thinking Michael Scott from The Office, personally, but
there you go.
I was like, how about we compromise and we give him a middle name? So he is Maverick Michael, and all right, the middle name only comes out when he's naughty,
right? So. Like with all kids, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's often because he's still in that puppy phase, even though he's over 3.
Wow. Well, thank you for rescuing a puppy. That's an admirable thing to do. It's not easy. So that's awesome. I love that movie. Just Top Gun came out. The first Top Gun came out while I was stationed in Pearl Harbor in the Navy. Wow. So it was pretty cool when that came out. So and then I love the sequel. I think the sequel was so much better than the first one. I love how they integrated the first into the second. It's just so cool. Anyway, all right, not here to talk about them. They get enough press. Let's talk about Katie Prill. All right, so 17 years, Air Force spouse. Wow, and all the things that come with that. We were talking offline about the challenges and the barriers that military spouses and military families face. It's just an incredible thing that people who have never lived it just do not understand. And it's not to be, I was a military spouse as well while I was on active duty and then after. It's not to be like, oh, woe is me type of thing, right? It's an awareness thing that people truly need to be aware of, because without our military spouses, without our military families, people wouldn't stay in the military. So you'd end up having, people that do a tour, and then get out because there's no support. So it really is an issue that people need to think about. So thank you for wearing that uniform. It's I say that because there is an invisible
Mhm.
uniform of the military spouse that's not recognized. So thank you for that. That's a huge thing. So you're a nurse by trade,
Yes.
which is, and again, admirable. Wow, there's just so much admirable things about you, Katie. I can't imagine. I'm not into things. I've got sensitivity issues to begin with, so I could never be a nurse. God bless those who can, because we need them. And it's an occupation now that's really suffering,
Hmm.
that needs people to be in that profession. So, but as a military spouse with all the moves, being a nurse, even though there's probably a lot of opportunity, that was still a barrier in getting steady occupation, right?
It was. And I will preface this with saying I have not been working as a nurse for the past 5 years.
Okay.
I think largely because of some of those barriers.
Yeah.
Now, when we started like our military journey, I had just graduated from nursing school and my husband was just starting his career. And I did not go with him for his first assignment, knowing like he was just going to be there for training for a short period of time.
Sure.
And I was trying to get my nursing career off,
Yeah.
get it going. And I got a couple months into my orientation. I was working as an L&D nurse, and I was like, you know what? Why are we doing this? Like, I can get a nursing job anywhere. And we just started, we had just gotten married not too long before that. And I'm like, why are we starting off our marriage apart when we could be together? So
Yeah.
I, packed up, moved across the country from Wisconsin to California.
Wow.
And, just 22 years old. And I'm like,
Yes.
this is exciting. I've never gone anywhere outside of
Yeah.
Wisconsin beyond like, vacations and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm grown up now. Little did I know there was going to
Right.
be so much more to that. And same with military life as well. But we were only there for, I think, 5-6 months total. And
Mm.
we packed it up and did it again. I've been able to I had been always able to find jobs. It wasn't always the thing that I was wanting,
Right.
or it wasn't always right away.
Yeah.
Because even though, like, they say they can't discriminate based on military spouse and you don't have to disclose that,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
They know. They'll see your resume and they'll see exactly the locations you've been, your out of state phone number, and all of those things. I know people do different, like, resumes different now,
Yeah.
but like back then, all those things. And especially, it's a dead giveaway when your address is on a military base. So
Right. Right.
they know. So I always disclose that. Every interview, I always said that. I'm like, I do not know how long we will be here. I have no idea what the military says. We could be here for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. I have no idea. But I always prefaced it with saying, like, I might only be here for a short time, but I will give you that time the best work that I can. And that's not to say that Joe Schmo that lives in this city for their entire life, we get the same job and they'd be gone in 6 months. So
Right.
take a chance on me. Like,
Yeah.
call my references, look
Yeah.
at all of that. I will work hard for you. And
For you.
and I did.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And that, I mean, I was going to ask you if you did disclose when you go to that next station and go to try to get a job, if you would disclose that you're a military spouse.
I did.
I mean, to me, I always tell people what you want them to know about yourself up
Mhm.
front, because if they can't accept that and
Right.
value that, you don't want to work for them.
Correct.
Right. So it's better to know that now than for them to find out afterwards that you're a military spouse and figure out how to get rid of you, versus
Mhm.
you just being upfront. And if they don't hire you, then, hey, they lose out.
Right.
But we try to, especially here, at the Ascend Collective, our whole mission is about advocating for the skills of veterans and military spouses and educating employers that, I may only be here for 6 months, a year, 3 years, but in that time, I'm going to work circles around
Mhm.
most people you will hire. And you can't beat that. I mean, you just, like, they have to take, value in
Right.
that. So,
I feel
wow.
like I always had to work harder to prove that too.
Yeah.
that I may not be there for the long haul, but that
Right.
doesn't mean that I'm phoning it in. I am going
Right.
to give 100% every single day and show
Absolutely.
up and continue to just do my job and be the best nurse I can be for my patients and for the fellow staff members.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and unfortunately, females have to do that too. I mean, even not being a nurse, just going out and being a veteran and being a female veteran and a female, military spouse. It's like I had to prove that I
Mhm.
belonged places. It's just,
Right.
yeah. So that's it's one of those barriers that we've got
Hmm.
past, and we're here. So all of that, you do a lot for the military community. You're involved with Spousely, which I absolutely love, and Monica love that organization. But you do a lot now for Points for Patriots
Yes.
and just so many things. So thank you for all of that. But let's talk about love and lettering. I just love the name of that. Anything with the word love in it is happy for me. So tell us about your business.
So I actually started my business mostly as an Instagram account to just share my art at first. We were stationed in Alabama back in 2019, and I saw this ad for a lettering course, and I'm like, that would be really kind of fun to do. And I just started a new job in nursing there, and I'm like, hey, I really want to try that. Like, art would just be fun to do. Like when I get home from work and the kids are playing outside, I can just doodle and, letter and do all these things. And it was like a monthly subscription box, but because I lived close to the studio, you could also go in and do classes there as well. And it was just so much fun. And then COVID hit.
Oh gosh.
And I was working endoscopy at the time in a hospital
Oh,
unit, and all of the outpatient cases were canceled for good reason because we didn't know. So only the people that were full-time staff, which I was not full-time at the time, trying to, again, be available for the kids and all of that. We've been blessed that I've been able to work more as a PRN or as needed basis or a part-time so that I was there when my husband would be deployed or TDY or that sort of thing. But when COVID hit, my kids were home from school. My husband was home from the school that he was going at the time. So we're all at home. We had so much time on our hands, it
sure.
only took like 30 minutes for my oldest to do his schoolwork. My youngest was still in preschool. Like, we had time on our hands. So we did so much art, and I lettered in art and did watercolor and all the things all the time
Yeah.
during that time. And it was so much fun. I'm like, I'm going to create this account, and I'm going to call it Love and Lettering by Katie. And it's going to be just a way to share my art on a separate Instagram account.
Yeah.
And I started that, I think, May of 2020.
Okay.
They loosened restrictions. I went back to work for 3 weeks, handed my notice in like the first day because we were PCSing in June.
Gosh.
And because, of course, so I, worked like 2.5, 3 weeks, left or, packed up, moved across the country from Alabama to South Dakota. And in that process,
Wow.
there was still just so much unknown.
Yeah.
And my husband was going to be starting a job that was going to require, he wasn't going to have the flexibility to take off if, say one of the kids was exposed at daycare or one of the kids was exposed at school.
Yeah.
And if I started a new job, what do we do when that happens? Because again, there were so many unknowns.
Yeah.
And I had some friends say, hey, why don't you think about like selling some of your pieces? And I'm like, maybe, I have nothing else to lose. And so I found Spousely because I had a neighbor in the neighborhood we were in Alabama. She was a Spousely vendor. She had started like immediately when Spousely was launched in February of 2020.
Yeah.
And I, created the shop, let it sit for a couple of months because I was like, I don't know. No one's going to buy anything. Do I really want to? And then it like was about to renew and you're going to owe, your little fee for your listing fees. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay if I don't have any listings. So I got my button gear, put a couple stickers up, some prints, and I launched on September 13th, 2020. And I actually had my first sales those days. And I gotta love my family who just like cheered me on, and old friends from nursing school who had ordered and all of that. And it turned into so much more than I ever could have thought. For me, it was like, if I sell something, I sell something. If I don't, I don't. and I can eventually go back to nursing, or, at the time I was also teaching spin class because that was just kind of a fun thing to do, that I picked up as well while we were in Alabama. And I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, we'll figure it out. And
Yep.
the business just continued to grow. And I learned so much more from just lettering and making stickers to, painting art for nursery signs and different wooden signs and ornaments and different things over the years that I added just more to my collection. And now it's 5 years in, and it just continues to grow year after year. And I'm just, to find out that 50% of businesses like roughly fail by year 5, and I've made it and I'm still going, is just a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Congratulations. That is
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah. So this, we're talking January. So people have missed Christmas, but they've got time for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So tell us about some of the things that you have, some of your like stickers and products that you can and offer for Valentine's Day.
So Valentine's Day, one of the big things I always like to make sure I have is like gifts for husbands to buy their wives.
Yes.
So I do hand lettered and hand painted oyster shell dishes, as well as scallop shelled. So I paint them, and if you want to put your initials on them, or like maybe something from your wedding vows or something like that, and they just make really cute little dishes to put your rings in, or just put it next to the sink when you take your rings off when you wash dishes, that sort of thing, or just a cute little decorative piece. I also have not really stickers for Valentine's Day, but some prints as well. So some love sayings, that sort of thing that you can put around the house to decorate, as well as some shirts that I will have on hand. So
nice. Okay.
How do people find you? As well as sentimental ones. And then I am a huge Taylor Swift fan, so there are some Taylor Swift related Valentine's Day pieces.
All right. My middle granddaughter is a Swiftie, loves Taylor. She's 9. She loves Taylor Swift. She's incredible. So how do people find you? Like
they can find me on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I'm on all of those social media platforms. Love and Lettering by Katie. And then I sell on Spousely. My entire collection is on Spousely, but I do also have a website that's loveandletteringbykatie.com, where I have a blog. I am working on still kind of building that out. I did not create a website until this past year, and because I'd been selling solely on Spousely or in person at markets. So you can find me on my website, as well as my entire collection on Spousely.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, wow. That's amazing. All right. Everybody get out there and order your Valentine's stuff. You have a flood of orders for Katie. So it's amazing. What has been the hardest part of running your own business? What do you think has been the hardest part?
Time management. If I'm going to be honest, time management. I'm so I was very, very organized as a nurse, and I still can be very organized, but I think because I'm my own boss and I set my own schedule, and, I'm like, oh, today seems like a really good day to go get a coffee and, spend 30 minutes making an Instagram reel or a TikTok or something like that, in the hopes that it might drum up some, some interest in my business. But then I remember, oh wait, you have to go through your books and you have to do this and that. And next thing I know, I'll put it on the list for tomorrow. And everything always gets done, but sometimes I work better under pressure. So that's kind of my 2026 goal, is to maybe be a little more organized and maybe turn off the unwanted apps for a bit, so I can focus on what I need to do, because I'm like, oh, I have time. I can get it done. And next thing you know, it's time to pick up your kids from school, and mom duty starts. So
I mean, I totally can empathize, because I've now gone to and I've tried it before, but I'm being much more diligent about it now, is block calendar things. So I know myself, if I can't do more than an hour in one thing.
Right.
So I only put in like 30 minutes, and I actually set the alarms on my phone
Hmm.
so that my alarm goes off and I know I can, okay, now I'm a break from this and I'm going to go do this. So that seems to be helping me keep organized and just, be in the moment. And
Hmm.
I tell myself, all right, nope, don't look at your email. You're not doing
Right.
email right now. Don't look at your phone. You're not doing your text right now. You're just doing this.
Hmm.
And it helps because then, I can tell my mind, don't worry about other stuff. It'll still be there
Right. It
when you're
will.
done with this 30 minutes. So that seems to help me, but it's tough.
It
Uh,
is tough. I
yeah.
actually bought a device to brick my phone.
Oh,
It was influenced again by social media, but it actually really helps because then I can put on different categories, or I guess they're different modes. So it's like my deep work mode, and
okay.
I pick which apps I want blocked, and then I have the brick on my phone or on my fridge. So then I scan it and it completely locks down those apps. I cannot get into those apps or
Wow.
anything on my phone during
Okay.
that time. The only way to do it is I have to physically walk back over to the fridge and unbrick it. But like when I brick it, I'm like, no, I will not go into them. I will not
Yeah.
override the system. Like this is my time for deep work. And that has been helpful. Like if I put it out of my mind, I can't use it. I
Yeah.
won't get distracted.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so that has been helpful, especially trying to stay on
Yeah.
task with orders or something like that, because it is very easy to be like, oh, I'm making shirts, but what if I go and start folding them and getting them ready for shipments when it's like, no, you've got the heat press on.
Right.
It's hot. Just keep it going. Keep
Yeah.
that part going. Turn it off, then go fold, and then do the next task instead of trying to like do one entire thing all the way through. Just try to like assembly line it, which is what has been probably the most helpful for me, especially when I've been doing more of bulk orders lately,
Okay.
which has been great.
Yeah.
But the assembly line approach
Yeah.
tends to be the best to help me stay on task and manage my time the best.
That's awesome. So, what's been one of your favorite orders, or just a favorite story that you've had to fulfill in this last 5 years?
I always love it when families come back to me every year and ask for the ornament for their duty station. So there is one family that I knew from South Dakota when we were stationed at Ellsworth Air Force Base. And when I first started my business, she had me make all of the duty station ornaments up until that point.
Okay.
And then she PCS'd away, we PCS'd away. And, it was like clockwork every November, October, because they were on a cycle where they were moving almost
Wow.
every year, every other year. That hey, there's an ornament order from that family, and sure enough, October hit, and there's the order, and said, hey, we're stationed at this base now. Can you make me the ornament?
Wow.
And it's just really special when like they continue to come back
Yeah.
for. And another family was the same way. She has an entire tree of their duty station locations, and it's all my ornaments.
Oh, that's so
Which is like,
awesome.
that is so cool. And
Yes.
while I don't necessarily do the wood signs anymore, I
Okay.
did have someone reach out recently who asked if I could just hand letter their son's name and just a small quote at the bottom. And
Oh.
it was included in their family pictures, like their baby pictures. And that's
Oh.
just special that my art made
Yeah.
it to the photography.
Yay! That's awesome. So do you do all the duty stations? Like I was stationed in Keflavik, Iceland, which doesn't exist anymore, but is that an ornament I could order? Like,
You could, yes. It would
yeah?
just be, I may not have it listed, but
Okay.
like, come wintertime when I open those up, I mean, you can order them anytime, honestly. I just don't always have that listing open.
Sure.
But, just say, hey, I want this, country or this state,
Okay.
and this duty location, and I'll make it.
All right.
Because
Excellent.
we've only been CONUS. We've only been stationed in the US. We've never been overseas. And Air Force is only certain locations. It's not all over, just like every
Yeah.
branch is different, but I offer all of the branches and I offer every place because again, I know military will take you wherever.
Exactly.
And it's important just to be able to be flexible and roll with it. And even if I don't offer it on the website, you could always ask.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's that. Okay, that's my goal for next Christmas. I'm gonna get all of my duty stations. I was in for 9 years, and I had 5 different duty stations in those 9 years. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's in 9 years. That's a lot though.
it is. Yeah,
And a lot of times to have to figure out new jobs and all of that, because every base runs different. Even though my spouse does, he's been multiple locations with this job, every base is different. Every expectation is different. Yeah. And it's the same thing, I guess, on the spouse side.
Yeah.
How different each job can be for the family life.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, we're just about out of time. Just give your words of advice for other military spouses out there who are, probably struggling with trying to figure out their careers, trying to maybe start a job or start a business on their own. What's your best advice for other military spouses out there?
I say my best advice would be to just try, just go, even if you, do it scared. And there's so many people out there willing to help. Like, send me a DM. I'm happy to talk to you, happy to point you in the direction you need to go. There are so many resources out there. Take advantage of them, because people legitimately do want to help military spouses succeed in their corporate careers, their small businesses, all of those things. And there is money and there are resources out there to help you do so. Sometimes it just means you might have to spend a little time on the internet looking for it, but it is worth it. It is 100% worth it to just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000% agree. Perfect. All right. Well, Katie, thank you so much. Thank you for all you're doing for our military community. Just so appreciate you, and looking forward to hearing how many Valentine's Day orders you get.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Ascending Beyond Barriers podcast, where every story reminds us that potential deserves a pathway. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, again, please subscribe, rate, follow us, all the things, so that we can keep sharing these incredible stories. Till we meet again, keep lifting voices, keep sharing your stories, and keep ascending beyond barriers.